Today is June 13th, 2024. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life. This is Pro-Life Week. Well, longtime pro-lifers have been in this fight to save unborn babies for 50 years. And during that span of half a century, we have experienced disappointments, defeats, setbacks, bad Supreme Court decisions, losses at the ballot box, losses in state referendums like in Michigan. We've experienced pro-life laws being vetoed by governors or presidents. We face, to get away from the political arena, we face a hostile press at practically every turn. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find a pro-life journalist on TV today. Maybe you might find some on Fox News, but other than that, you're going to be doing a lot of searching to find a pro-life journalist or commentator. We face adversity all the time, and actually, it comes with the territory. We know how to deal with adversity. We're used to it. So accepting that reality that we are facing obstacles at every turn, faced with that reality, we will not surrender. We will not cower in fear. We will not be defeated. We may have setbacks, but we will not be defeated. We will not surrender. We will not raise the white flag. We will not go home. They may say to us, just give up. It's over. Go home. Well, if we had followed that advice, just calling it quits and going home, we would not have seen the Dobbs decision of 2022 overturning Roe v. Wade. That would not have happened if the pro-life movement had given up 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. It would not have happened. Okay, so I say all this in light of what happened today, this morning, at the Supreme Court. June 13th. Today, the court ruled against a challenge to, I'm reading now from a Fox News report on the Supreme Court. Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled against a challenge to the Food and Drug Administration's regulatory approval process of the abortion drug mifipristone in the latest abortion case since the Dobbs decision of last June. June of 2022. We're coming up on 2 years. In victory for the Biden administration and abortion rights supporters, the High Court gave unanimous decision. This was a 9-0 ruling. The challengers to the FDA lacked standing to sue the government. Okay, they didn't really have grounds to sue. I think I talked maybe a week ago about the Dred Scott case, where Dred Scott was a black slave, had been taken to Wisconsin by his owner, and during the 3 years he lived in Wisconsin, he felt, because Wisconsin was a free state, he felt that he had become a free man. And when he was returned to Missouri, I think with a new owner, he was still in bondage. And he sued for his freedom. Well, the Supreme Court ruled in Dred Scott that he didn't have standing. He did not have the right to sue for his freedom because he was not considered a person, like a white person. He was not a full human being. He was property, like an animal that could be bought or sold. But he, according to the Supreme Court, Dred Scott did not have standing to even sue for his freedom. Well, so when I say the word standing, that's what it means, that you don't even have the authority or the ability to challenge a law or to sue for freedom. So what happened was a few doctors had sued the FDA over its regulatory policies regarding mifipristone, this abortion drug that is used in over half of all abortions today. And the Supreme Court said these doctors did not have standing. Okay, so I'm going to quote now, this is from the article, but they're quoting from Brett Kavanaugh, who wrote the majority opinion. Quote, under Article 3 of the Constitution, a plaintiff's desire to make a drug less available for others does not establish standing to sue, nor do the plaintiff's other standing theories suffice, Justice Kavanaugh wrote. Continuing, quote, the plaintiffs have sincere legal, moral, ideological, and policy objections to elective abortion and to the FDA's relaxed regulations of mifipristone. But under Article 3 of the Constitution, those kinds of objections alone do not establish a justifiable case or controversy in federal court. And unquote. The case was remanded back down to the Fifth Circuit Court, consistent with the court's opinion. The Supreme Court said that the group could not prove that the FDA's relaxed rules would have caused them, personally, them injury enough to give them standing to sue. Quote, here's from Kavanaugh's opinion. Here, the plaintiffs have failed to demonstrate that the FDA's relaxed regulatory requirements likely would cause them to suffer any injury. In fact, for that reason, the federal courts are the wrong forum for addressing the plaintiffs' concerns about FDA actions. Continuing, quote, the plaintiffs may present their concerns and objections to the President and FDA in the regulatory process, or to Congress and the President in the legislative process. And they may also express their views about abortion and mifipristone to fellow citizens, including in the political and electoral processes. So he is carving out another pathway for the pro-life movement to pursue. Whether or not those would even be successful, but he is saying there are other paths to follow that may give you a better remedy to this issue regarding FDA regulatory policies. Okay. The Fox News report on TV, which was not the one I printed off here, added that several states may want to revisit this issue and file their own joint challenge. If individual doctors did not have standing, perhaps the court would recognize the legitimacy of state governments, which is a completely different ball of wax compared to just random physicians. Okay, but for now, mifipristone remains legal. Clearly, there was a setback for the pro-life movement, but it's not the end of the story. Like I said at the beginning, we have faced adversity before. And if you are new to the pro-life movement, welcome to the club. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time.